if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, seen it right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm.
Once again, we're here again with another sneaker conversation. And this sneaker is one of the things that stands out for me. Not just because of it's done by Nike, but it's the story and the conversation that it brings. And before I'm able to just show you these sneakers that I got here, we'll have a small conversation. And this is about one of the greatest to ever play this game. That is Kobe Bean Bryant. It's unfortunate that we lost him in 2020, but he's one of the most inspirational people that I've seen, put that ball on the hardwood. And till today, I can't still just imagine that he's no more. Somebody who, he presented to me something different. He showed me you can achieve it. You can be that great in every aspect of your life. I mean, this guy is straight from high school. He was drafted by the Hornets in 1996. The first round pick, with their 13th pick. He was traded off on draft night to the LA Lakers. And I mean, the logo himself, Jerry West, saw greatness in this child when everybody else couldn't find it. Everybody felt, an 18-year-old from high school, how would you draft this? How would you deal with this? This is someone who still needs to grow, who needs to, have some level of maturity in him. But Kobe displayed it all. He didn't just do it for the sake of, because he's a child. No, he had that maturity in him. He had moments, yes, but he had that maturity. He understood the game. He loved this game. And that's the one thing that I keep saying every now and then, that when an opportunity comes, you take it and you go with it. You don't even need to worry about what someone else would say or whatever thing it is. I mean, this dude, his debut game in the summer league, when the draft happens, they go through this whole process of playing in the summer league, more like a showcase before the season kicks in. Just these young guys trying to figure out how ball is played and all that. And he did basically impress so much. I mean, he had 25 points in his debut game, and in his final game he had 36 points. In the whole entire summer league, he averaged 24.5 points. I mean, you could tell he has something special. He impressed every coach that was seeing him. I mean, he's called John Vol, the pre-workout coach for the Boston Celtics. It was like he could see Michael in him. This is an 18-year-old kid playing ball with grown-ups, and he just stood out. That was just Kobe Bryant for you. So he got to the LA Lakers, and the LA Lakers kicked off the season. He came off the bench most of his first season, and he didn't really average much. I think he did about 7.9 points per game in that particular first season of his. He was not getting a lot of playtime. His name was called in. He showed up in the playoffs when they were playing the Utah Jazz. the Utah Jazz won that series with 4-1. But I mean, this is Kobe Bryant. His moment was called, he came in. He's just a new kid in the block. The following year came along, his second season in the game, he improved significantly. He was now doing 15 points average per game. His playing time was increased. That particular year, the guy won the slam dunk contest in '97. I mean, he was the youngest to ever win that contest. You know, and you can take that away from him, because Kobe was driven by the drive to just be better, and nothing would stop that. He was runners-up, sixth man of the year, but he didn't get it. But still, that didn't just stop him. And I know in Kobe's language that inspired him to just show the league that, you know what, you made a mistake. I was rightful to win this award. But he kept on going. He didn't stop at that. Then now comes the three-peat. Phil Jackson walks in LA in '99, and the team is formed together. You know, Phil is just the man. After taking Jordan through 2 three-peats, he had it all. So he comes to LA and just starts on his thing, the Zen master himself. And before you could know it, Phil was taking these guys like no one else. They just picked this and went with all that you could imagine, and a three-peat was just like that. So it's something that also feels so in him. His coaching made him flourish, because Kobe Bryant was just the exact copy of MJ. MJ and Phil had history. So Phil felt like, I'm just back to where I came from, basically in Chicago. So at the end of it all, they were able to deliver that championship. Shaq was exemplary, amazing. But those two, that was total domination. That one you can never deny that. Shaq and Kobe was clicking. It was awesome. So, and when that time came out, Shaq left, went to Miami, he won a championship there. That really broke Kobe at some point. And during that whole period, he did demand to leave. But one of the things that he was really, really putting a lot of emphasis on was the fact that Jerry West was not seen as remaining with the team. The guy who mentored him, the guy who pulled him in, the guy who saw the Kobe Bryant we saw across the years. So after all this, back and forth, all this drama here and there, I think, Shaq left, so Kobe remained, and it was more or less trying to figure out, so what next? At that particular point in time, there was also the element of he was changing his jersey number from number 8 to 24. And one thing that probably you don't know, maybe some of you may know, is initially in high school, Kobe did wear number 24, but now he switched to 33 at some point. So when he was drafted by the Lakers, he did want to wear number 24, but there was already somebody in the squad, George McLeod, who was wearing that number 24. He couldn't wear 33 because 33 was retired thanks to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the great. So during the ABCD camp with Adidas, Kobe wore number 143. I don't even know why he wore that. So in that camp, 143 is the number he used to play with during that particular camp. And when the time for the league came in and he was now to pick a number, he just added them, the 1, 4, and 3, and that was how number 8 was born. So in the 2006-2007 season, Kobe switched to number 24. That is the next 10 years. He won 2 championships. And he won one championship against You can imagine it. Over a 3-year period, Kobe makes it to the final all those 3 years. Out of the 3, he won 2. The first time he went to the championship in 2008, the Boston Celtics did beat him. I'm a big time Boston Celtic fan. I mean, I was born to love and hate Lakers, and all this while I didn't like the guts they had, because he kept whipping us, he kept doing this. That win in 2008 was everything to me, because it was just a way of us cementing we are the basketball powerhouse, period, Boston Celtics. So having beaten him in 2008, in 2009 he comes in, he beats the Orlando Magic. In the finals, he becomes a champion. In 2010, he comes again and we meet again in the finals in 2010. And he beat us. I watched that game, and that was the most painful thing that I've ever watched. From a point where I felt in my heart that we are winning this championship, Kobe came and took it away from us. Because that was Kobe. We beat him in 2008, and he said to himself, I will beat and crush these guys. So he's inspired me so much. When I played basketball in high school, I wore number 8 thanks to him. And I hold so much pride in the fact that he was able to entertain and he was able to give what he gave for the league. 20 years is not a short time. He spent more time in the league than the time that he didn't spend out of the league. So for me, I'm very grateful. It's unfortunate death robbed him from us, but his legacy lives on, and that can never be changed. He's the greatest Laker of all time. He's the greatest competitor of all time. And to me, he's always been entertainment. It was fun to watch because you know there was something in store that he was going to do in every game that he played. That was Kobe Bryant for you. He never started. You give him the ball, he would do whatever he wanted to do, and he would win it. The 81 game point that he'd made against the Raptors, that is just out of this world. Nobody has reached that point up to date. Even with all these league changes and all that, Kobe still stands out. So, loving Kobe is one thing, and it's something that will stay deep in my heart. I mean, I carry that brand on my chest every day, because Kobe is the greatest. Kobe is just the greatest to ever do it. I would have loved to see him, after basketball. He showed us a snip of it. His writing, his poetry, his expression. I mean, the guy won an Oscar. The only NBA player to win a championship, an Olympic gold medal, and an Oscar. He's very decorated. So I hold him high in my standards, and I hold him high as an inspiration to us, because Kobe never failed us. On April 13th, 2016, he played his last final game against the Utah Jazz, the team that once eliminated him in his first playoffs experience. And what did he do? He dropped 60. And I did this. I have this to just celebrate his greatness. I'm even scared of putting coffee in this. For me, this is just to mark greatness. I watched that game minute by minute. I was filled with excitement, I was filled with tears, I was filled with emotions, because I didn't know what else to expect. I knew the next day LA will be playing, and there will never be Kobe in the league anymore. So on that fateful day, it was about 9 p.m. East Africa time. That's like 9 a.m. LA Pacific Standard Time. I was just about to go sleep because I had a trip to Lagos the following day, early morning flight. And I'm going through my phone, just, like just normal routine, just want to see what's happening before I get to sleep. And I see this very weird, ridiculously thing, Kobe accident and all that. I was like, this is a joke. If this is a joke, this is the worst joke of all time. So I switched on back the TV on. I'm browsing through every news source. I'm in Al Jazeera, I'm in BBC, I'm in Fox News, I'm in all the CNN, call it. Just trying to figure out, like, is this really true? It only took 10 minutes and he was trending online. Kobe had gone. Just like that, he'd gone. 2020 has been a very hard year for many people, but for it to start with the death of Kobe, to me, that just killed me. Kobe has been like a parent to me, for lack of a better word, or a big brother to me. I've lived, and people in my generation, we lived in a place where we didn't really have a lot of mentors in our lives. And we had to look at certain individuals to mentor us. They would do it unknowingly, and that's what Kobe did. My love for basketball was taken a notch higher when I saw him play. I loved basketball because of MJ and what MJ did in the league, this dominance. And for me, watching him play all through, in 96, I was a big kid. And being in school and just, I don't even have the words, man. So that was a very big blow to me, and I felt like we can't just lose this greatness. So over his 20-year playing career, he initially signed with Adidas in 96 when he was just coming in. And was able to do 5 pairs of shoes. He came into Nike and he's done 13 pairs of sneakers. Getting a hold of Kobe's sneakers are not the easiest, because I don't know why, this where I am, it's not the easiest thing. I had to really, really struggle to just get this. It took me so many months. When these boxes were getting here, they were pretty beaten up, like they really had a rough time from where they came from to here. So it's an honor that I'm able to have one of his very last pairs of sneakers. So we're on to this. This is just some paperwork from Nike. I have the Protro Grinch. This sneaker is awesome. This is a beautiful, just have a look. The green in this is awesome. So the thing about this sneaker is Nike was doing this as the basketball Christmas Day collection, and this happens to be one of the pairs of sneakers that they did. It's called the Protro Grinch. This is an amazing pair of sneaker. I've never worn this sneaker at all. I think I've had it for maybe a year and a half. I've never had the chance to just wear it because, one, it's very difficult to find. It's not the easiest pair of sneakers to find. It's not very, very easy to find Kobe sneakers. So when I got a hold of this is a very new pair of sneaker. I've put it in my foot once, just taken a few photos with it, and that was basically it. But for me, this is a collector's item. I'm not so keen on wearing it. I just want to, just look at it, because for me, this guy means everything to me. I'm not even in the mood of, creasing it up and all that. So this is an amazing pair of sneakers. I've really struggled finding this. It's not the easiest thing to find a Kobe sneaker, a new one, in the country. First of all, we don't even have Nike stores here. We don't have outlets that would bring this. The ones that are here, we have a few distributors who they say they are appointed by Nike, but all they do is sell trainers, sneakers for people who jog and run, because this is a country for runners. So I do appreciate what they do. So as a result, I don't really penalize them for that, because that's what this country is. This country is known for runners. We produce the most amazing athletes. So anybody who thinks of sport, that's the first thing that comes in mind. We're not really fantastic in football. The Americans call it soccer. And any other sport. Rugby is doing amazing. But most of them will stock up because of this guy, of running. So this guy never finds an opportunity in any store that we do. So for me to get a hold of this is out of love, and it's out of love for an amazing guy who has changed the narrative, who made us believe in the game of basketball. Every day I'm thankful that I had the chance to see him and watch him play. Has been the most amazing thing in my life. And I have a second pair of this. Also, so in this box, I got another extra pair of laces that you can do with it. I've never worn this pair of shoe. I don't even know when I'll wear it. I'm not really keen on doing that. But I have a second pair of this. So this is the All-Star. So it came with a bag. I don't know, man. This bag, having the Kobe Bryant himself printed here. This is basically from China, but it's a legit stuff, it's not fake. And it has the All-Star one. The All-Star one. This is an amazing pair of shoes. The lacing is awesome. You can have a look at the lacing. It's really, really nicely done. Still has the Kobe Bryant signature here at the back. Behind the sole, very clear, very neat. All this is carbon fiber, by the way. This is carbon fiber. No fake, it's legit stuff. And this the other side. This pair of shoes. This sneaker is awesome. So I've never felt the need of wearing them. Still have all these tags and all this stuff. I've never even pulled them off this box. So this, I'm afraid I wouldn't wear it. I know I keep saying wear your sneakers, but I'm so scared of even wearing this because of what it means to me. Kobe is second to none. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. And the fact that he reads and does his off from Michael, it's something that I really, 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 really adore. So yeah, so for me, this was a very emotional thing to do. I've thought so hard on how I will do it, but every time I start talking about Kobe, I get really emotional. For me, he was the brother that never knew me. For me, he was the inspiration that I needed just to go through life, more so in my high school life and all that. Oh, as you can see, I have a book here. Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality. So this book basically puts you in the mindset of Kobe. It explains everything he did. It gives reason to everything that he basically achieved, what drove him, his work ethic, his training, and anything else that you would want to just know. It's basically how he played the game. So it's something that you can grab and just read through. I believe for Kobe, nothing is for granted. Everything is just a chance. And there's one thing that he said when he was just about to, let go. Love the hate. Anybody who's hating and throwing you all that hate your way, love it, because use it as fuel that will propel you to anything that you want to be. So for me, these are my sneakers and they are my story. Thank you, Kobe, and I miss you.